Good afternoon, everyone. Parents, families, guardians, thank you so much for joining us. Today, we have a very important topic to discuss with all of you. It's about our upcoming assessments. As you all know, with all the communication that we have done so far, we will have all of our 3rd through 8th grade students and 11th grade students take MSTEP testing starting the first week of April all the way till mid of May. And we have to share the details with you so that we all are on the same page. We will assign a certain grade level each day to come to the building to have the test, and they all have to be here. It's going to be online, and once the test is over, the students will be going back home. We will share more details with you. I have Miss Manal Rizk here with me. She will be able to translate for all the presentation that we are doing in English. Miss Rizk.
أهلا وسهلا بالأهالي الكرام. نحن اليوم حنحكي عن الأمستاب تيست يلي هي التلاميذ حيقدموها ابتداء من April 16. هي فحص للتلاميذ للتقدم في التعليم. بدنا نشوف أداء التلاميذ في الفنون اللغة الإنجليزية، بالرياضيات، العلوم، الدراسات الاجتماعية.
Thank you, Ms. Rizk. So as you all know, the MSTEP is Michigan Student Test of Educational Progress. It includes the summative assessments that are designed to measure our students' performance in different subject areas: English, math, science, social studies. And each of these areas have different kind of characteristics or skills or standards that we measure when we give them this test. Ms. Rizk.
اوكي، هذا الامتحان رح يشوف التلاميذ كيف ادائهم باللغه الانجليزيه، الرياضيات، العلوم والدراسات الاجتماعيه، وكل كل سبجكت يعني كل وحده بده يركزوا عليها بطريقه مختلفه.
The information and data from high quality assessment system, which is the MSTEP assessment system, it helps us to be one of the top charter school in the state. When our students perform well, when our students show the growth throughout the school year, that tells the state that we are doing something right, and we are taking care of our student needs, and we are using the resources and all the guidelines that are provided from the state in an appropriate way. And all these state assessments, they provide once a year a snapshot of students' progress towards their standards that the state and district and the building has assigned for each grade level. Now we have MSTEP testing, we have MME testing, we have PSA testing. All these are state testing, and they provide a lot of information which is important for the schools, for the parents, and for the students. It tells us how well the students are performing in each grade level, in each subject. It also tells the school and the district how our students who are being taught by our teachers are compared to other communities, other states, other nations. It also helps us to target state and federal support and resources for our students and for our schools. So any kind of resources, any kind of new curriculum or supplemental curriculum, when we plan for that, we look at the data, we look at the students' progress, and we determine what kind of other resources we need for our school. And it also identifies the area of successes from which we can learn how to improve more, how to improve better in a better way for our students.
هذا الامتحان حيعطينا، او هول الامتحانات اللي كلهم حياخذوهم التلاميذ بيعطونا معلومات وبيانات لنكون من اول المدارس التشارتر. في عنا الامستب، الام ام اي، البي سات، هو كلهم بيعطونا معلومات عن كيف التلاميذ عم بيقدموا بكل صف وبكل ماده، كيف التقديم مقارنه بمدارس اخرى بالمنطقه والولايه والبلد. كمان هالشيء بيساعدنا حتى ناخذ مساعدات للتلاميذ والمدارس يلي بيحتاجوهم، وبنشوف شو هن النجاحات حتى لا يتعلم منا الآخرين بشو نحن ناجحين.
Thank you. Now, the MSTEP testing is given to 3rd through 7th graders to measure their progress and on those academic standards for English and math. So all of our students, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, they will be taking English and math test. Along with that test, our 5th graders, 8th graders, and 11th graders will take social studies and science test. We also have PSAT, which will be given to 8th and 9th graders. And we have the PSAT for 10th graders. These are all state required assessments that the state has waived off last year because of the pandemic. But this year, there is no, there is a requirement from the state to have our students complete these assessments. So there is no waiver this year. Ms. Rizk.
بس عندنا من الصف الثالث للصف السابع حياخدوا الامتحان بفنون اللغة الإنجليزية وبالرياضيات. الصف الخامس والثامن وصف 11 حياخدوا امتحان بالعلوم والدراسات الاجتماعية. في البيسات يلي هي حتنعطى لصف الثامن التاسع والعاشر يلي هي حتكون عن الفنون اللغة الإنجليزية الرياضيات والتحضير للSAT تيست يلي بياخدوها بالهاي سكول. السنة الماضية هذه التست كانت ويفد، يعني عشان كان في بانديميك فطلبوا انه ما تنعطى التست، بس هاي السنة ما فيش يعني ما في طلع منها، لازم التلاميذ ياخدوها.
We also have assessment for our 11th graders. There are SAT assessment, which is required for the students to show their college readiness, and the same SAT score will be provided to the colleges and universities when our 11th graders will apply for their admissions to universities in September. We will give our 11th graders MSTEP assessment for science and social studies subjects, and they will also take ACT work keys to measure their career skills. So our 11th graders will be testing in 3 different assessments along with their end of the year assessments.
اوكي، صف ال 11 حياخدوا 3 امتحانات. هن اول جروب حنبلش معهم. حياخدوا امتحان الSAT يلي هو بيقرر باي جامعه ممكن يقدروا يفوتوا. هذا الامتحان بيركز على فنون اللغه الانجليزيه، على الرياضيات، وعلى بيشوف قديش عندهم استعداد للجامعه. في الأمستب يلي هي بتركز على العلوم والدراسات الاجتماعية، وفي ACT يلي حتركز على الوركي بتركز على المهارات المهنية.
Okay, these tests have fewer multiple choice questions and more problem solving and critical thinking questions. So we want to make sure that all the parents, students, guardians, everyone is aware of that our students have to prepare for these tests. We already have shared the tutorials and the practice tests with our teachers. And in this PowerPoint, I will be sharing the links with all the parents too. And we need the students to practice as much as they can before they are appearing for the test. Just like it explains, these are not multiple choice question, very few multiple choice question, but most of them are writing down answers in students' own words or using their problem solving skills, using their thinking skills. So this is really important that students practice as much as they can. Also, these tests are computer adaptive tests. So this means that they will be providing students with individualized test experience, and they will be measuring more precisely every student's progress towards the standards or towards the learning goals. Computer adaptive test means that it's not going to be uniform, the same questions for every student. It's going to be according to the individual student's capabilities. If a student keeps answering right of all the questions that appear in front of him or her, the test will keep going. So it precisely tells how much the student knows by the end of the school year when they take this test. Testing time has reduced every year, and according to the calculations, it only takes 1% of instructional time annually for all these tests. So when we talk about 11th grade, 5th grade, 8th grade, who are going to take all 4 core subject tests, they still are not more than 1% of the instructional time. Preliminary results are available to the school in 48 hours. So we will be able to see the reports of our students, and the final results, which include the hand scored items processed during the summertime, will be available to the parents before next year starts. So you will receive a detailed report at home for all these tests when your child will be able to complete them.
الامتحان بيركز كتير على حل المشاكل والتفكير النقدي، يعني بده يخلوا التلاميذ يفكروا منيح قبل ما يجاوبوا أي سؤال. هذا كمان الاختبار فيه التكيف مع الكمبيوتر. CAT معناتها إنه كل ما التلميذ بيجاوب صح ياخد سؤال أصعب، بضل ياخد أسئلة صعبة لحتى لا يبلش يجاوب خطأ. فيعني مش كل امتحان نفس الامتحان للتاني، كل تلميذ حيكون امتحانه مختلف حسب قدراته. الامتحان كتير دقيق وبيعطي معلومات كتير دقيقة وكتير فعال. ما بياخد وقت من المدرسة، بياخد بس 1% من وقت التعليمي للمدرسة. والنتائج الأخيرة هلا يوجوالي بناخد النتائج خلال 48 ساعة، نعرف شو الريزلتس للتلاميذ. بس بالصيف بيكون في أكثر ناخد النتائج تبعول الأسئلة يلي بنكون مجاوبين عليها كتابة. هودي بناخدهم قبل ما تبلش المدرسة السنة الجاية.
These are the links for all the practice tests and test questions. There are samples available. The top one is for MSTEP assessments, and the bottom one for PSAT, SAT assessments. Students can also go on Khan Academy for PSAT and SAT practice. We have offered our 11th graders Kaplan classes every Friday from 1:30 to 3:30. That the instructor helps them to practice only SAT assessments, and it's going on every Friday. So make sure if you have an 11th grader student, tell them to participate in this opportunity, which we have offered to our students for free. Kaplan classes are recommended for any student who is taking SAT, and they guarantee that there will be increase in student scores if all the students follow up with those classes on time.
اوكي، في عنا تدريب من شركة كابلان كل نهار جمعة عم ينعطى حتى ليساعد التلاميذ ياخدوا ساعة حصة حتى ليعلوا علاماتهم، فيخليهم يشاركوا بهالشي عشان يتدربوا. أول لينك موجود فوق هو بيساعد بالأمستب، إذا بتكبسوا عليه في تدريب للامتحانات وبتشوفوا كيف نوعية الأسئلة. ثاني لينك موجود هو للبي اس اي تي ولا سي تي، بيعطي تدريب للامتحانات كمان.
Excuse me. This is the schedule for all spring testing for all of our students. As you can see, on the left side, it tells you about all the subject areas that the students are going to be tested. And here, these are the timings. So grade 5, 8, and 11 will have 4 weeks, starting the week of April 12 till the week of May 3rd to complete their assessments. Grade 3rd, 4th, 6th, and 7th will have these 4 weeks, starting the week of April 26th till the week of May 17th to complete their assessments. We also have SAT, like I explained, that will be happening on only one day, which will be April 13 for all 11th graders. And we have ACT work keys, which will be on April 14 only for all 11th graders. PSAT for grade 8 will be scheduled for April 13, and PSAT 9, grade 9 will be on April 16. PSAT 10 will also be on April 16.
اوكي، في عنا هون الجدول يلي بيفرجينا كيف حتكون الامتحانات. يعني مكتوب كل صف امتى بياخد كل امتحان تاعوله. في عنا 4 أجماع لكل امتحان، وبنشوف امتى كل تست موجودة، ممكن تطلعوا فيها وتشوفوا عن قريب.
As you saw that there are 4 weeks for testing. Now I'm just gonna show it to you, what kind of test and how much time, and what are the details. So as you see, MSTEP for Science and Social Studies for grade 11, they will have, just like I explained, they will have 4 weeks of window. They will have science, 1 session, 90-minute test. They will have social studies for 30 minutes. And the breaks can be given providing during test time using the software pause failure. So they can break in between, but it's better to complete the test as is for science and social studies. Grade 3rd through 7th, they will have English language test. It's computer adaptive test for 2 hours. There will be breaks which we will be giving to the students in the middle.
اوكي، في عنا 4 أسابيع لصف ال11. معهم حيركزوا على العلوم، معهم 90 دقيقة، وممكن يستعملوا آلة حاسبة علمية. في عندهم دراسات اجتماعية هي 30 دقيقة، فيهم ياخذوا استراحة إذا بحطوا باز بين إذا بدهم ياخذوا استراحة صغيرة. في عنا الصف الثالث للسابع حيركزوا على اللغة، فنون اللغة الإنجليزية، معهم 2 ساعة لياخذوا هذا الامتحان.
Grade 3rd, 4th, and 5th will have math test, which will be for 1 hour 30 minutes. Again, we will provide them with a break in the middle. There will be no calculators allowed for that. Grade 6 and 7 will have math test with the basic calculator and the scientific calculator for each one of the grade level, and their test for math will be approximately 2 hours.
اوكي، صف الثالث للخامس كمان معهم 4 أسابيع. الامتحان تاعولن هو 1.5 ساعة. ممنوع الآلة الحاسبة لهول الصفوف. صف السادس والسابع عندهم 4 أسابيع، امتحان 2 ساعة، وممكن يستعملوا الكالكوليتر بالآلة الحاسبة.
Grade 5 and 8 will have science test. They will have 2 sessions of the science test. There will be 45 minutes each part, so 1 hour 30 minutes for science. And then social studies, they will have an hour test, 1 session only. And again, breaks will be provided according to our plans.
في صف الخامس والثامن عندهم 4 أسابيع ليكفوا الامتحان، 45 دقيقة على كل جزء من الامتحان، في جزئين. آلة الحاسبة لصف الخامس، وفي آلة حاسبة علمية لصف الثامن ممكن يستعملوهم. من صف الخامس للثامن حياخدوا كمان دراسات اجتماعية، 4 أسابيع معهم وقت، والامتحان بده 1 ساعة.
These are the important points for all of the parents to know, that when you send your child for testing, there are certain requirements that we want everyone to follow, and we will go through these requirements. Before we started, I just want to make sure that you all understand our testing window, just like I explained, starting from April 12th. The first test that we will have is for 11th graders on April 13. Then we will have 8th graders on April 13 testing for PSAT. 11th graders will come back on April 14 for ACT work keys. And then April 15 will be when our 9th and 10th graders will take, actually April 15 when 11th graders will be taking MSTEP, Social Studies and Science. And April 16 is the day when the 9th and 10th graders will take PSAT. After that, every week, we will have 1 grade level coming into the building to take the test. We will call home. We will have the teachers send an email with the schedule to all parents, all students, so everyone is on board. Right after the spring break, the whole week when we come back, that's the time when the teachers will be sending home the notes, or sending home the remind messages, and the school will be sending you the emails to let you know that when the test is starting. Now, this is the guideline. We will plan, just like it says, we will plan for some certain grade levels starting the April 16. Student will complete 1 or 2 domain per day. They don't have to stay in the school for the whole day. As soon as they are done with the test, they will be able to leave. There will be a 10-minute break between 2 domains for the students to stay on their seats and use the restroom if they need to. Students who are testing will be marked present in their live session for the complete day. So even if they are done by 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, they will go home and they don't have to worry about the rest of the day to be in live sessions. We do expect them to complete their assignments, which the teachers will be assigning them in Google Classroom. Student will be provided with the water bottles on their desks. No one will be allowed to leave the room once they enter the room. Only the teacher or proctor will call the main office for escorting the students to go to the bathroom or any other emergency.
اوكي، في الامتحان الام ستيب حيبلش ب 16 الشهر، بس قبله بكم يوم من نهار الثلاثاء حنبلش بالتست الثانيين اللي هم الاس اي تي والبي اس اي تي. في عنا الامتحان ممكن يكون يوم او يومين حسب كل صف كيف شو مطلوب منه. في منهم حياخدوا امتحان واحد بالنهار، في منهم حياخدوا امتحانين. في استراحه لمده 10 دقائق بين امتحان وامتحان، بس يجي التلميذ على المدرسه بنسجله انه هو عنده حضور لكل النهار، يعني ما بيقعد انه خلص اخذنا الاتندنس لكل النهار. في حيكون متوفر في ماي على كل الاناني، ماي على كل التاسك تاعولاتهم. ممنوع الخروج من الصف ابدا، بس من وقت ما بيفوتوا ليخلصوا الامتحان مفروض يضلوا بالصف.
Okay. There will be hallway monitors who will be assigned to navigate the hall for the traffic. Students and staff will all be required to wear masks. All staff will be wearing face shields. If students arrive to the testing location earlier than the designated time, they will remain in their cars. And when it's time for them to come into the building, we will let them come in. If families bring their students to the building and want to wait on the site, we will be asking you to stay in your cars in the parking lot. Main office will call the family and the students to notify when the students are done with the testing. So we have completed our VIDA testing in the building, and it went through really successfully without any issues. And we shouldn't have any problem following up with the CDC guidelines for the MSTEP testing or for any other testing which is coming up. We will make sure student safety is our first priority, staff safety is our first priority. We will make sure everyone is following the CDC guidelines. We will make sure students are wearing masks, staff are wearing masks all the time. And when the students come in for testing, we will check their temperature and then let them go into the rooms. Once they are done with testing, they will either be asked the student to call home and notify the parent to come and pick them up. If the students are driving by themselves, they will be leaving, but we will confirm with the parent if it's okay for the student to leave the building. If there is no cell phone available, we can have the main office call home, ask the parents to come pick up the students.
اوكي، في عنا مراقب للمدخل يلي بيقول لهم للتلاميذ كيف وين بيروحوا وين لازم يكونوا واقفين. كل التلاميذ لازم يلبسوا قناع والادلتس، يعني كل المعلمات يلي عم يعطوا التست والتلاميذ لازم يفوتوا لابسين قناع على المدرسة أو الكمامة. أو في كمان إذا في سيارة إجوا أو حدا من التلاميذ إجوا بكير، لازم ينطروا بالسيارة لحتى يصير وقت الامتحان اللي هو الساعة 8. إذا في حدا من الأهالي بده ينتظر حدا من التلاميذ، لازم ينتظروا برا بالسيارة، ممنوع الدخول على المدرسة. الآفيس هن بيتصلوا بالتلاميذ بس يخلصوا الامتحان، بيتصلوا بالأهالي. المعلمات بس اللي لازم يكونوا موجودين وقت الامتحان حيكونوا موجودين، مش حيكون في معلمات تانيين.
There are marks placed on outside the building, and we will place marks inside the building for the students to stay 6 feet apart from each other in the hallways and outside in the building. And they will be in the classroom. They will be 3 to 4 feet apart from each other on their own desks. We will also place the barriers in the main hallway floor to block entry to any other areas where students are not allowed to go. Tests will start once all the students are present, especially the SAT, PSAT, and ACT work keys. We have to start it on exactly on the time when the time is designated for testing. Main entrance will have checking machines, and the parking lot doors will have manual thermometers. Students will only be required to come through the doors which are designated for those students who are testing. So we will give you the exact entrance where to come from, so that we don't have all the students coming from the same entrance, because obviously when we have all students from 1 or 2 grade levels coming to the building for the testing, we have to make sure that we don't have more than what we can accommodate. So there will be all doors which are outside doors will be open up, and different admins will be standing at different doors so that they can have that group of students coming in.
اوكي، في علامات على شارع ارنولد ستريت على الشارع، في علامات قدام المدرسه بتقول للتلاميذ او للاهالي وين ممكن يوقفوا. في علامات بقلب المدرسه جوا كمان بتقول للتلاميذ وين يوقفوا. في حواجز بالهالويز جوا بالكوريدور بيقول للتلاميذ وين ممنوع يروحوا. بس يجوا كل التلاميذ بنبلش بالامتحان. حينقاس الحراره على الباب، في باب المصف كمان حينقاس الحراره عليه. لازم التلاميذ يوقفوا قدام الباب الرئيسي. المسؤول عن الدخول معه قائمة بالأسامي بيقول لهم التلاميذ على أي صف لازم يروحوا.
No student will be admitted to the building inside the building before 8 a.m. If a student has a temperature, the admin will ask the student to step aside. We will take the student to a designated room, which is only exclusively prepared for the students with any kind of fever, any kind of issues. And then we will call home to have the parent come and pick up the students. We will have tables set up with brown bags and crates to place students' cell phones and other belongings separately and label them at the door, so that when the students walk into the classroom for the testing purposes, they will not have their cell phones or any other equipment with them. Students are required to wear masks throughout the time. Social distancing is already required for everyone to follow through. If the students are testing online, they will be required to bring their Chromebooks in a bag, and then we will let them take the bags with them. We do need students to bring in their headphones. If they don't have headphones provided from us, we will provide them headphones when they are here in the building. Chromebooks plus chargers, they need to bring both things to school. And students are not allowed to eat in the school building, so they have to have the breakfast at home, and when they come in, and they will test, and after the test is over, they will go home, and nobody will be allowed to eat anything, no snacks, no lunches.
اوكي، ممنوع الدخول على المدرسة قبل الساعة 8. إذا في تلميذ عليه حرارة بناخده على غرفة مخصصة ونتصل بالأهالي ليجوا ياخدوا هالتلميذ. في كيس ورق بنحط فيهم التليفونات ونكتب بناخد التليفونات أول ما يفوتوا التلاميذ ونكتب أساميهم على الكيس. التلاميذ لازم يرتدوا الكمامة طول الوقت. لازم يجيبوا معهم الكروم بوكس، التست بدها كروم بوكس اللي هو اللابتوب اللي عطيناهم اياه من المدرسة، وممنوع الأكل بالمدرسة أبدا.
Like we already explained, students are expected to have breakfast at home prior to coming to school. They're expected to enter the building one by one and keep social distancing. Staff will be assigned outside the building, making sure that only one student enters at a time. Students will not be allowed to use the restrooms or the water fountains when they come into the building. They will go straight to the testing room, and the use of restroom will be minimized. So if during the testing anyone needs to use the bathroom, one of the staff member will escort the student to the bathroom, and students will not be allowed to drink water only in specified cases. When students need to drink, they will have to close their booklets if they are testing on paper, and stand behind the chair and drink water, which we will be providing the water bottles to all students. And after they are done, they will sit back on their seat and continue the test. If they are using computers, again, they will ask the teacher for permission to get up, stand behind the desk, and drink water, and then come back and sit down and continue with the test.
ما لازم التلاميذ ياكلوا ترويقة بالبيت قبل ما يجوا على المدرسة. لازم الدخول على المدرسة واحد واحد، ممنوع يفوتوا مجموعات. ممنوع استعمال الحمام أو شرب الماء عند الدخول. خلال الامتحان إذا حدا مضطر إنه يفوت على الحمام، حدا من الأدمن، حدا من الإدراء بياخد التلميذ بيروح معه، عشان ممنوع التلاميذ يفوتوا جروبات على الحمام، لازم واحد واحد. إذا حدا بده يشرب مي المفروض يوقف، بيسكر الدفتر أو الكمبيوتر، بيوقف بيشرب، بيرجع بيقعد وبيكفي الامتحان.
Students will not be allowed to move or get up from their seats during breaks. They can only stretch or relax. Teachers and proctors will be provided with wipes and hand sanitizers to use wherever they need to use for cleaning purposes. All staff will be wearing masks, shields, face shields, and the gloves. Once all students are out, the testing room, hallways, and restrooms, everything will be sanitized. We are making sure that the rooms are large enough to allow for current social distancing guidelines between seats and students and the administrators. Desk shields will be used as barrier for students.
Okay, بس لما الصف ممنوع التحرك بالصف أو ترك المقعد. في سانيتايزر وأدوات تعقيم موجودين بالهالويز جاهزين لأني بده يستعملهم. العاملين بالمدرسة لازم يلبسوا كفوف وكمامات. حيكون في تعقيم للصفوف بالكامل بعد كل امتحان. الصفوف موجودة كبيرة والمقاعد محطوطين بعاد عن بعض 6 feet، وفي في درع للطاولات موجود على الطاولة، يعني في شيلد على كل ديسك، في بلاستيك درع حتى للتلاميذ أمان for their safety.
There will be no snacks provided to the students. Students are expected to keep their masks on all the time. Once the test is over, we will collect the material, dismiss the students one by one. After the dismissal, the testing material will be secured, and no students will be allowed to stay on the school premises once the test is done. And our school social worker and school nurse will be available for any student, making sure that all our students are involved in testing, coordination, and the environment remain positive throughout this experience.
ممنوع التلاميذ ياكلوا سناك أو يجيبوا معهم سناك عشان ممنوع الأكل بالمدرسة. لازم ياكلوا كمامة كل الوقت مثل ما قلنا. لازم يخلصوا الامتحان، بس يخلصوا كل شيء بيتاخد منهم، الامتحانات كلها بتتاخد. التلاميذ بيفلوا مثل ما بيجوا نفس الطريقة، كل واحد لحال. ممنوع أي تلميذ يبقى على حدود المدرسة أو حوالي المدرسة بعد ما يخلص امتحان. العاملة الاجتماعية حتكون موجودة كل يوم لتساعد التلاميذ إنه يكون في جو إيجابي بالمدرسة.
This is the schedule for all the testing days. Since you have seen in our previous slide that there will be 4 weeks for each grade level to complete the test. And we do have to make sure that everyone completes the test during those 4 weeks. So we have created this schedule so that if everyone follows the schedule, we will have 1 week or a couple of days for makeups if we need to. Otherwise, most of the students should be able to complete the testing during this time. So this exclusively is about MSTEP, this presentation. Tomorrow we have the presentation for PSAT and SAT. We will share the exact schedule for PSAT and SAT tomorrow. But right now, this is grade 11. As you can see, they will start on Friday, April 16, with science and social studies test. They will be in different rooms, not more than 15 students in any room, and they will be coming into the building to take the test.
اوكي، فينا نشوف هون الام ستيب امتى حيبلشوا التلاميذ. ففيكم تشوفوا سكادجول تاعولن مثلا صف ال 11. في عنا 4 غرف. في غرفة كمان اسمدي للتلاميذ اللي لهم حاجات خاصة. بكل غرفة ممنوع يكون في أكثر من 15 تلميذ، فكل الغرف تقريبا 12 13 14 تقريبا تلاميذ موجودين.
This is for grade 5. They will be coming in on Monday, April 19 and April 20th, and they will be testing in 4 different rooms. Again, not more than 15 students in any room, and they will be coming in, take the test, and leave after the test is over.
كمان هون بنشوف صف الخامس في 4 غرف موجودين للتلاميذ، ممنوع أكثر من 15 تلميذ بالغرفة، أكثريتهم أقل من 15. وكل تلميذ بيجي بياخد الامتحان وبيروح.
Grade 8 will be coming in on April 21st for science and social studies. That's the only day that they will be coming for MSTEP. And once they are done, they will leave, and testing will be over for MSTEP for grade 8.
الصف الثامن حيجوا ب 21 شهر 4. بيجوا بس يوم واحد بياخدوا الامتحانات الساينس والسوشيال ستاديز وبيخلصوا بيكونوا خلصوا الامتحانات.
This is the schedule for makeups. We will be doing the makeup testing for these grades 5, 8, and 11 on April 22nd. So any student who will not be able to make it on the designated days, they will have a makeup day to complete the test.
فإذا في شي تلميذ ما قدر يجي على نهار الامتحان اللي كان محدد، في نهار عاملينه 22 الشهر عاملينه للميك اب لحتى لا يعوضوا اللي راح عليهم ويجوا ياخذوا الامتحانات.
This is the schedule for grade 3. They will be coming into the building on April 26 and 27. They will be taking English and math in 4 different rooms. Again, not more than 15 students in any room, and they will follow up with the schedule. After they are done, they will leave, go home.
هون بنشوف السكادجول للصف الثالث. حيجوا ياخذوا امتحاناتهم 4 غرف، بيخلصوا الامتحان وبيروحوا على البيت.
6th grade will be coming in on April 28 and 29. They will take ELA and math in 4 different rooms. These teachers will send an email to all students who are taking tests and which room. But like we have explained, every student in 6th grade is required to come to the school and complete the test.
في الصف السادس حيجوا ب 28 و 29 الشهر. بيجوا بياخدوا الامتحانات ب4 غرف. بيخلصوا الامتحانات، هن امتحاناتهم حياخدوا يومين لأنه الامتحان تاعولهم والELA والماث شوي طويل.
This is the schedule for grade 4. They will be coming into the building on May 3rd and May 4th to take ELA and math test.
الصف الرابع بيجوا بشهر 5 ب3 الشهر ب4 الشهر بيجوا بياخدوا الامتحانات.
And this is for grade 7. They will be coming in on May 5th and 6th to take ELA and math test.
الصف السابع بيجوا ماي 5 و6 شهر 5 بيجوا بياخدوا الامتحان الصف السابع.
Makeups for grade 3rd, 4th, 6th, and 7th will be on May 10th. Any students who will be left without taking the test in their designated days, they will come on these makeup days to complete the test.
ب10 الشهر بصف شهر 5 بيجوا بياخدوا الميك اب الصف الثالث الرابع السادس والسابع يلي بيكون راح عليهم الامتحان.
Now, if you have any questions, we are open to answer any questions you have, any comments you have. Feel free to either call the school, call me, text, email, any way possible. We have time from now till April 16 to follow up with any concerns, questions you have. But like we have explained, these are state requirements. We have to complete the testing for all of our students in grade 3rd through 8 and 11. 9, 10, grade 9, 8, 9, 10, and 11 will also take PSAT, SAT testing. And we have a separate presentation tomorrow for all those students, parents, and guardians.
إذا حدا عنده أي سؤال ممكن نجاوب على أسئلته من هلا معنا ل 16 الشهر. في presentation تانية بكرة لل PSAT وال SAT test تشرح لكم أكثر عن الأيام وكيف حتكون هذا التست، فاحضروها بكرة. وهلا إذا حدا عنده سؤال بليز يسأل المديرة، ومعنا وقت لتجاوبوا معنا ل 16 الشهر.
Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate all the parents, guardians, families that they have trust on us, and they follow up with any kind of activities, tasks coming up, and their support is really appreciated.
نتشكركم على دعمكم وإيمانكم فينا كمدرسة إنه حنجيب التلاميذ وحياخدوا امتحاناتهم بشكل آمن. شكرا كثير لكم.
Okay, there is some question about the school starting. From now until March 19, we all are on virtual learning. All the students are learning from home. Any plans after that? Our superintendent, Mrs. Nawal Hamadi, going to send out the memo. We all know that parents have completed the survey, staff has completed their survey, and now we are compiling all the results and everything. And soon you will receive a memo from our superintendent regarding the details about our plans. Any other questions, concerns? Thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate all your support, all your help, making sure our students are successful.
Thank you everyone. شكرا كثير.